know where the troops at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfield.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by BetOnline.AG. It's that time of the year again as college basketball takes center stage with the tournament finally upon us. It's March Madness, people. Let's go! If you're looking to wager this year, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your updated odds and info, along with great contests, including the bracket contest where you have a chance to take home the top prize. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to get started. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. BetOnline, where the game starts. Hey there, Marcus Dash here, co-host of Chief Concerns. At the conclusion of this episode, please make sure to like and subscribe to our podcast right here on YouTube. And for all you listeners out there, please be sure to give us a 5-star review on any of the platforms you use to listen to us. I want to thank you all for listening to us throughout the season, and we look forward to engaging with you all throughout the offseason. Enjoy the episode. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Chief Concerns. I'm here with our hosts, former tight end Jason Dunn and former cornerback Eric Warfield. Fellas, how you guys doing?
Good. We looking for things to be happening on the whole free agency and all of this, and it's being quiet like a church mouse. So we waiting to see what's going on. But
yeah, we don't know how to make big splashes in the free agency world. So I think we just look forward to capitalizing in the draft. And it sucks for a bunch of us that are excited about what could be, and especially when you see so many big names out there, and we could use them. And the worst part is when you see high caliber players going to teams that are within your division, of which you probably could have had a bid at, but we don't take those chances. But we still have time, so.
And it's like, it's like with everything, you kind of let the big wave go. And this is obviously optimism right here. You let the big wave go, and then you see what happens after the fact that the big guys are paid, big money's thrown out there. You kind of go for not bargains, but you get guys who may want to do a 1-year prove it deal, and then so they can get that money the following year. So hopefully.
Yeah.
But lots to get into this week. So we're going to start off with our first concern here. So in a week that's usually filled with fireworks for our guys, it has been somewhat of a quiet week for the Chiefs as we restructured Frank Clark's contract, found Tyrann Mathieu's replacement in hard-hitting safety, Justin Reid. He's about 5 years younger than Tyrann Mathieu, 6'1", 205, so a little bit bigger than Tyrann Mathieu. And according to 40 times, he's much faster than Tyrann Mathieu based on 40 times, and getting paid significantly less than what Tyrann was asking for. So I guess, and this is the big headline splash for us so far. What did you guys make of Justin Reid over Tyrann Mathieu this week?
I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about him. I mean, he's had a stellar career. Hopefully he can bring a little bit more to the team of what we need. I mean, he's not a Tyrann Mathieu, and Tyrann isn't him. We relied a lot on what Matthews brought to our defense, especially our secondary, and help down in the box. So, but you got to give this guy a chance. Like I said, he's had a good career so far. Hopefully he can keep it up. He's young. He's got good size, good playmaking ability. So just see what he does.
Yeah, I think, man, to be honest with you, it's kind of the main thing is, in this business, and the NFL is a business, they're always trying to find somebody that's younger, somebody that's going to get paid less. And I think they checked all the boxes out. Now, the thing is, I believe they're hoping that Justin Reid is going to be what Tyrann Mathieu is and what has shown, to be, up until this point. And so that's what you do. You take a chance and say, hey, look, this guy's developing. He's had a wonderful career so far. Maybe he'll come in and he'll fit that mold. Maybe he'll be able to fit that piece that we need. A younger guy that's not going to break the bank or whatever it may be. And that's the business of football, man. That's the NFL. That's just how. That's the theme of it, and you'll see it all during free agency through guys' careers. I mean, you see it right now. We've seen what's been happening over the past couple of days, and that's what teams do. The Chiefs are no different, and so Reid, I think is going to bring a lot to the table. We're going to see, but I think it's a great signing for us, no doubt about it. So,
people won't give him credit, at least for what he's done and what he could possibly be. And it's mostly like, I've come to understand from playing to being a coach and to even, doing some news shows back in Lincoln, Nebraska, the emotional connection to sport runs deep, and when you lose a player that's done so much for your team, fans don't want to see those guys leave. And fans think that you can just bring out, whatever what's in the Brinks truck to pay to keep those guys. We have to understand that sports is a business. It's something that we love. We've grown to, attach ourselves to it emotionally, but it's still a business, and every business wants to run smoothly. Every business wants to be successful. And like you said, every business has a rotating door. You want younger and cheaper talent that can come in and fill those needs that you're replacing. And so, I'm happy with whoever we bring in. If we couldn't afford to bring Tyron back, then so be it. Do I hate to lose him? Yes. We've lost a lot of great players that have been long-term Chiefs great. We lost Derek Johnson to the Raiders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he had a long tenure with us, but it happens. It's a part of the business. Do you like to see it happen that way? No, but that's just how it works.
Yeah, you seeing Derek Johnson. I mean, you look at the guys that just kind of fell in free agency. When you start looking at it, it's the same thing when you see Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Tony Gonzalez when Tony went to the Falcons. And the thing is, what's really bad about it, and I know you're saying that emotional connection, is because when guys are etched into the community, I mean, they're anchored there. They've done a lot of things, great things to the community that people, without a doubt, do feel loyalty to, right? They feel that connection, and like you said, that deep connection. And so when you see these things, you see a guy whose life is pretty much out in front of everybody in the city, and he's visible. That's a great thing about Tyrell, man. And like you said, that part of the business, he thinks, and I'm sure, I don't want to speak for him, but, as former players, we know this. We know, like, look, man, I've done what I needed to do in the community. I hope to stay here for the long deal, for the long haul. And then all of a sudden it just seems like I'm just thrown away. And you would expect. It's just like anything else, right? It's in every corporations, any type of job. What we don't see anymore is that loyalty, right? Now, I'm not saying the Chiefs don't have it, but the same thing. It's the bad part of it because it's business, right? It's like, well, we can't afford you. We'll bring somebody else in like we brought you in. And so, hey, listen, we love everything you've done for us. We appreciate everything you've done. And sometimes as a player, it just seems like a slap in the face. But, that's the bad part of it. You just understand that, sometimes these things, like I said before, sometimes when you make the big bucks, man, you become expendable. That's the bad part of it. So,
And it's been a surprise so far that Matthew is still one of the last free agents, still one of the big name guys. He's still available right now because the landing spots that people thought he was going to go to was New Orleans. That didn't happen. They ended up re-signing their guy, and then Baltimore, who ended up getting somebody else. So it's like people. There's some Chief fans who are holding out hope that he could maybe sign for a 1-year deal with Kansas City, but we're having trouble with our own money, bringing in other guys to fulfill other needs. So I don't know if that's going to happen. But more so on Justin Reid, how do you see him fitting into the defense?
I don't know, to be honest. That's just an honest answer. I haven't seen enough highlights on him. I didn't watch games of Houston. Just seeing some of the stats that were posted on Twitter about his career. I mean, it's nothing to say that, he's gonna be any better than what Tyron is. But you hope, you get, even when you draft guys, you hope, that they can live up to what you signed them for. So we signed him to replace Tyron. So I'm in hopes that he can come in and outperform what Tyron has done. And that's he's got some pretty good sized shoes to fill with filling that position.
What I've seen of it, you're right, I haven't seen a whole lot of Houston, but highlights and some of the other things that I have seen, the other games I have seen. I mean, he's a solid safety, man. He's a good tackler. He's strong. He's got some speed on him. I mean, he's a solid player. I mean, he is a solid player, and that's he'll bring that here. He's not going to get beat a whole lot. Playing down here, kind of in the box, he'll be able to do. They'll ask him to do a whole lot more of that. But man, he's a good player. He's a good player, and that's the reason why the Chiefs went after him and signed him. So they was pretty high on him, man. I did, to be honest with you, I didn't even know he was kind of on the radar until he came out. I was like, oh, okay. Start looking. I'm like, this dude, he's pretty good. He's a good player, man. So he'll bring something to the secondary, no doubt about it. And of course, one thing they're looking for is youth, right? Youth, durability. So.
Hey, he's a big dude. I mean, it's kind of like a different kind of safety than Matthews. He's a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what we can do. And a lot of Chiefs fans are just hoping that, as far as the safety goes, is that maybe we'll see a little bit of him kind of playing more of what Sorensen did, and then maybe getting a younger safety to kind of do what Matthew was doing, just because I guess he kind of stacks up more so like stature-wise with more Sorensen than he does with Matthew. But
Matthew, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so moving on. So we've talked about this in the show for a long time, that we're going to have a lot the needs that we had going into this offseason was edge, right tackle, and finding a number 2 receiver, along with, either replacing Matthew's position or re-signing Matthew. But we've been kind of quiet, and the only kind of names, the only time our names have popped up over the last few days, as far as guys we were interested in, was just a receiver position. And so the 3 names were Allen Robinson, who we talked about on the show before, Jarvis Landry, who was newly cut after our show last week, and then Cordarrelle Patterson, which is kind of an interesting one that apparently we are interested in. Those 3 names. Of those 3 guys that we're reportedly linked to, which one of those guys do you think would fit best with what we need at that number 2 position?
Well, I've said this, and I think, to be honest with you, from what I've seen, I think Landry fits best with what we do. And the reason is just because of, like I said before, he's a solid veteran guy. He catches the ball really well, catches with his hands. Yeah, yes, he is. Yes, he is. Last year was his down year and he caught 52 balls and he was hurt. So when you look at what the Chiefs do offensively, I've always said this is kind of like a small man's kind of offense, right? Find the window, find the hole type of offense. And that's one thing he'll be able to do. Now, he doesn't have the speed he used to have, but, the guy can still get open. He's going to be one of those, really creative, wily vets, to be able to, find a hole, push off on guys, and be available for Patrick. And so his skill set, what he brings, not to just to mention his command of like the locker room, his maturity, right? We talk about his toughness, being on the field, his durability, at least trying to be out there and just playing hard through the pain and all the things he's gone through. So I think a lot of that, man, he's going to be able to come in. If he comes in, if we get him, right, he'll help develop, I think, a young guy that I think the Chiefs might try to get in the draft, at least somebody that for the long haul, right, for the future. he'll be able to come in and be able to help that guy develop. He'll be, another one of those things, could just talk to these guys. But he'll be a great compliment, man, to Hill and Kelsey. I mean, that's the way we're looking at it. And Hardman, too. So if you sitting over looking in the room and you got Hill, you got Hardman, Landry, and then, of course, with Kelsey, what he does, I mean, I think that's pretty much what you need. You need a solid guy. And what we were kind of really, hurting on was that third down, like a guy that you could trust. And Patrick needs a guy that he can trust. And so when you got a guy out here that can trust, who's going to get open, who's going to find the hole for you, I think that's what your offense needs. Not to mention, like, Eve said, the gimmicky stuff Landry can do, right? So
either one, it doesn't matter which one. But we're not, again, here in the last, I don't know however many years, we haven't made a splash with a big name player. So, we haven't even made I won't say a splash. I think we made one significantly bringing Ingram in, but that was midway through the season. So as far as like in the beginning, to have that timing right from the beginning, so when you start now, we don't make those kind of splashes. And I don't see us bringing either one of those guys in. I hope, and heck, I'll take either one of them. They're all playmakers. So, I mean, I don't want to sit there and give a resume over each one of them, but heck, either one of the guys would be good for the offense. You can do any and everything with Cordarrelle Patterson. And, the other two guys are pretty good players and legit. So I'll take either one. Will we do it? I doubt it.
Yeah. And look, I even say this, though. So, like with Patterson, he's a guy, man, I don't – he seemed like he fits a particular style on the offense, how they use him. He's not really – I wouldn't say he's great at anything, but he's good at everything, right? So he's not particularly great. He's good at pretty much everything, right? He can run the ball.
Utility. You can put him at return.
Yes, he is.
You can put him in receiver. You can put him at running back. He can do it all.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, either way, I think if he was with the Chiefs, he'd definitely find a way to fit into the offense. Again, will we make that kind of a move? I doubt it.
Yeah. I just think we need that solid guy, kind of like I said on the offense, man, catching the football. And here's why. I'll give you another reason I say that. When we brought Sam. Yeah, no.
We all know we need it, but will we do it?
Right. Well, okay. Well, so what I'm saying, well, you're right. I don't know if we'll do it or not. I'm saying, who fits the best in here? And the reason I'm saying Landry, because we was thinking about when we brought Sammy in, right? Sammy Watkins. You had to think about the guys that wasn't quite developed around him. Now we got Hill, who's your number one, who's going to take the top off the defense. McCole can do the same thing, right? So now what you do, you just need those hands. You need that guy who's going to get open on third down, who's reliable, that you can trust. You need a guy that you can trust, you know what I'm saying, offensively. And so what teams end up doing last year, you drop 8, right? Shoot, double Tyreek, double Kelsey. Hardman started coming toward the end, and everybody else was kind of, didn't really get open for Patrick. And so he was regulated to trying to throw the ball to 2 guys, right? That's what you did. And so I think Jarvis gives us that. But you're right, man. Are we going to do it? And I think also, too, Landry comes in probably at a good price. That's another thing. It's feasible for us to bring a guy like that in. So I know we're talking about Robinson. Robinson's going to ask for that top money. And I don't know if we need a number.
You could probably get Julio Jones at a cheap rate for what he did last year. He's not going to be worth the money he got last year.
I know it. Yeah.
And he's a reliable receiver. It's just he's older in age. He's more fragile. So, but do you need him every play? No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, talking about making splashes. I mean, you kind of mentioned Sammy Watkins. When we got him a few years back, that was a big offseason splash for us. Yeah, I mean, was he what we thought he was going to be? No, he wasn't. But that was a big splash.
But Tyreek hadn't broken out then, though. So it's more so, we thought Sammy was going to be our number one, I think.
Yeah. But the thing that everyone's saying right now is the reason why we haven't seen, or at least today, the receivers, the same guys who came into the day as free agents are still free agents. Everyone's waiting to see what Deshaun Watson does. If he goes to Atlanta, you might see Allen Robinson go to Atlanta, or Jarvis Landry, who's actually visiting with Atlanta right now. So if they do get him, Watson, then we may see some stuff start to go in motion tomorrow. That's what the reports are saying. But as far as Allen Robinson, I don't know. Obviously, we talk about it's a business. Guys want to get paid. Allen Robinson with Jacksonville didn't have a really good quarterback situation. He gets paid, goes to Chicago. He ends up getting Trubisky, and then this past year, kind of a mix of guys: Foles, Dalton, Justin Fields as a rookie. Could we see? I mean, could we see a 1-year deal where he, takes $4 million? Because we're still, as far as the last I saw, we're still interested in him, and we're obviously, I don't know. Could you see a guy like that coming to Kansas City on a 1-year deal to play with Mahomes?
Man, we sat here last year and made up so many scenarios of which guys could come here just to take a less amount of money just to pursue a Super Bowl because we have the pieces. We were sitting there thinking like, oh, why wouldn't J.J. Watt take less to come here? Why wouldn't, Von Miller and this here player and that player? It's within that front office to decide what we can do within our budget. Now, I know I mentioned it on Twitter. Hell, just go over the cap. If you end up winning the Super Bowl, pay the penalty of whatever they're going to charge you. Hell, you got another ring. I don't know if that's the way it works, but you do get penalized, a fine, right? Run over the cap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I mean, if you want to go make a splash, go make the splash. Just go over the budget. Clark can pull that American Express out.
Yeah, if it was, I was going to say if it's personal money, they got plenty of that. But you gotta. But I think if you bring him in for a year, you could definitely do it. I mean, I'd love to have him. I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't love to have that guy? Seriously. I mean, if you get Robinson here, it'd be a great thing. I said, you bring him in, let him cuss out Nagy for good and proper one good time. It's like, look, you did me like that, then we just put it all down, right? Leave it alone. But you said this, right? And I don't know, because Deshaun Watson, right? He goes to Atlanta. Is Atlanta a Super Bowl team? No. Like, Landry wants to go win one. I don't think Atlanta is a place that you want to go. I don't care who you get. Unless the guy, I mean, seriously, if you got like a real legitimate chance of making this to the Super Bowl, I wouldn't go. Why would you?
We said all this last year, JD. We said all this last year. And who do we get?
I hear you. So are we just tight with the purse strings? Is that what it is? Are we just tight with the purse strings?
So that's what I want. I want to know that too. Like, I want to know what the front office is thinking. Like, why don't we make that splash? Like, why can't we drop that rock in the water and see what comes, or that check in the water and see what ripples we get?
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna give you a quick story. All right. When I was a free agent one time, okay, and a team offered me something, right? And, the teams, you just had to go with the offer. So their guy sent their offer out. Of course, I'm just like, oh, all right. I said, I'll tell you what. I told my agent, I said, you take that offer, you ball it up, wipe my tail, and send it back to him. How about that? Okay. Because that's just some BS right there. I said, if we're gonna do that, then you just put an offer out there just so high, right? You gonna lowball me? We just gonna be like, well, JD needs 3 years, $50 million for blocking. Yeah, sure. Since you try to hit with the low ball, we ain't doing it. We ain't playing this game. Come on now, like, let's be respectful. And so I hope, Beach ain't doing that. And I get everybody's like, oh, Beach this, Beach that. Man, look, Beach is making choices, but you best believe Andy and all these guys are involved with these choices. It ain't just Beach saying, I'm going to pull on this guy. If Andy say, no, it ain't okay, I'm telling you, it's not going to be all right. So he's involved in this process. All of them are. And they like, look, this works or it doesn't work. So,
I mean, we know that, but why? But I'm just saying, we know the front office makes that, those decisions. That little war room has got a whole bunch of names up on that chalkboard.
I know
and
it.
For some reason, I think that chalkboard is still full by the time it's draft time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you already know. Yeah.
Like we ain't making no moves from that draft board. And I don't know why. We make moves from the draft board, not the free agency board.
Free agency board, yeah.
And I don't get it. Like, it's hell, even if you do bring a Julio Jones, Julio can't be worth half of what he was worth last year. And you're double digit in years. Your value should be cut completely in half because your stats are not even half of what you've done. You didn't play a lot of games last year, but you can still make plays. You're still a threat, I think, if you're healthy. If we don't utilize you a lot, you can go out there and make plays.
But what was he known for? What was Julio? What's his calling card?
Julio did it all. You could throw Julio flat, Julio could take that for 80 yards. You could throw it deep, Julio gets it up for two or three plays.
Right. Hey, look, that's a long joker. That joker is long. You know what I'm saying? He get them strides, but now he got them little bitty tiptoes down. He ain't quite got that lift anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
Running ball.
You don't need him to break those yards. You need a possession guy. Julio's not going to drop a lot of balls.
No. He had great hands, that's for sure. But Julio. So part of it's going to be his ego, right? You think Julio going to come in here for $8 million? Would you give him 8?
Tennessee for what, 10?
Yeah.
I guarantee he's not worth it. He's not worth 10 right now.
No, definitely not.
well, that's a guy.
Huh?
Well, so that would be a guy who, where at his age, he would want to come play for a ring. You would think.
You went to Tennessee in hopes of, pairing with, I forget the guy who was number 11.
AJ. Yeah, AJ.
Yeah, and Henry, in hopes of, and they started out great. You just had too many injuries because you're up there in age. It happens. So I just think that to become a possession receiver with Kansas City takes a lot of that off of you. You're not the number 2. We go Kelce, Tyreek, or Tyreek, Kelce. So you're going to be a third, maybe a fourth, but you're a reliable third and fourth. You're not an every down third and fourth. We got our number 1 and number 2 receiver. That's Kelce and Tyreek.
Absolutely, 100%.
And so I still think, and for somebody like a Landry or Robinson, they're gonna want the big contract. We're already giving that to Tyreek Hill and Kelce.
Right. But so that's why I said Landry in itself. I think he works better in our offense. Julio, he's that big guy. He could definitely be a possession receiver. I don't know. I think some things we do, man, like Landry be the guy, right?
Oh, I'm not saying Julio's the guy we should go get. I'm just saying I think he fits. He's one that's, I think his value is decreased enough to where he can fit financially and physically, potentially wise, with what we have. But all those other guys fit also.
You like Patterson? Do you like? I don't.
I think we already have Patterson with Hardman. I feel like the way we use Hardman was the way we kind of use Patterson.
Basically,
right?
Yeah. I'm not turning down anything, JD.
I hear you.
If we can bring any and everybody in for a workout to see how you fit, so be it. Bring them all. Yeah.
Shoot, man, I might put my cleats on, come on out there, man, run a couple of routes, then a couple of slants.
You better go sit in that steam room for about a couple of months before you get your ass out there.
I will say, JD, I'm kind of curious about your hesitation with Julio. You're such a big Josh Gordon fan with this offense, but yet you're not a Julio fan. I don't really get that.
Josh, he ain't costing us nothing. Josh ain't costing us no money. That's hey, look, man, it's business, right? Julio talking about he knock on the door for 10 million, 8 million. Hey, man, you might have to go. Money. No, yeah. Hey, man, you got to go on down the street. You stopped at the wrong facility.
He better hang his cleats up if he's talking about trying to get $10, $11 million again.
Right.
We'll see. And like everyone's saying, once Watson makes his move, we're going to see the wheels turn. A lot of these receivers making their moves tomorrow. So hopefully that does happen. Hopefully we do get one of these guys. All right. So the last topic of the night. Kind of talk of the last week has been what our division's been doing. We talked about Russell Wilson last week, but now it's kind of getting the edge rushers. So AFC West has added pass rushers from with the Raiders going with Crosby and Chandler Jones, Chargers getting Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, and Broncos now have Bradley Chubb and Randy Gregory. So I guess the question is, since we've kind of missed out on the big name pass rushers, should we be prioritizing the right side of our offensive line or trying to make do with trying to get the next best crop of pass rushers right now? Two of the names everyone's talking about is Trent Brown at right tackle or trading for La'el Collins from the Cowboys. But what do you guys think about that?
Collins is legit, big time legit. He helps us tremendously. I like the re-signing of Wiley because I think Wiley does really good against the Raiders, but that's about it. I don't know if this is his long-time relationship with Crosby, but he does a good job against him. So he's good for that game. Other than that, a solid guy is great there. And if as I said, dude, whatever's available out there that we can go get, just go get him. I'm happy with whoever you bring, big name, to solidify what we need. And we do need an offensive lineman. We do need another edge rusher. We do need a middle linebacker. Corner-wise, I don't know who we're going to put on the other side over here. Heck, on either side, basically. I do like Snead, but he has his moments, as all corners do. There's a lot. There's a whole lot out there that we need. We don't build. We build to win it all. I think, and you need trying to build it all. You need a big time name that's done work and that's going to continue doing work. Everybody's saying that Von Miller's got overpaid. And Von Miller showed out in the Super Bowl. He had 2 tremendous sacks in that Super Bowl. Had pressure a lot during the game. Call him old and call him what you want. He shows up when needed. But he's gone now. And he's in our division. Well, he's in the AFC still.
Yeah.
With a good team.
You know what, man? It's why I'm really disappointed. I'm disappointed because now it's a reaction of getting another lineman. And while he did a great job, I think he was solid. You still got Niang. But the best way you could have avoided this, you could have signed those guys instead of letting them go on free market. You know what I'm saying? On the free agency. I mean, how can we not? If you got somebody who's dominant, you definitely want the guy that you're going against to have that guy, right? You don't want him having that hired gun. You want that guy. And so that's why I'm disappointed, man. Just seeing these things, just coming through the day, through the wire. I'm just like, man, this don't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So that to me, now we got to talk about getting a tackle. I get, having the depth, something happens and, getting a guy. Is it protect Patrick? Sure. I get it. But man, we should have been going at these guys, man, full blast, hardcore, seriously. And I'm that's the one thing, man, that's really upsetting to me is that we didn't get the guys. So now all of a sudden, we got to go talk about we got, man, got it. We missed it. We dropped the ball on that. Shoot, on a couple of them. So we get another tackle. Oh, well, we'll deal with it. But the guy we're talking about, he's a little bit older, and he's like in his who was you talking? You was talking about
Now Collins?
Huh?
Collins, the right tackle?
Collins. Yeah. So, I guess that's going to be have to, respond to what they're going to have defensively, but Wiley, like you said, he get him 1 year. He's a solid guy. He played well. I think he kind of fit for us. Was it 2 years?
Wiley got 2? Or 1 for 2.5?
It was a 1 year deal.
Yeah, 1 year deal. Yeah. So I just, but somehow we got to figure out, man, with this whole edge deal. That's what I want to talk about. Getting these guys on defense, because we got to find them. And I know draft. Talking about the draft, getting the guy on the draft. But I like those veteran guys. I like guys that's been there that knows what they're going up against. Proven guys, right? Sure. I know everybody looking at who's my man down there in Dallas. Can't think of his name. What's his
Parsons.
Huh?
Parsons?
Yeah, Parsons. Everybody thought we're going to get a Parsons. Now, shoot, what I'm looking at in the draft, I don't see no guy like that. You know,
the guy out of Michigan's real deal, and the guy out of Oregon is supposed to be. I haven't really paid attention to the Oregon guy. I think he missed quite a few of the games because he was supposed to be a first-round pick. Yeah, he's supposed to be legit too.
Yeah, man. But like you said, the veteran guys, you know what they can do. This guy come in and you still got to learn, the hand slap shoot. The veteran, like, look, man, that don't work up here. You know, when you was going against a guy who was, majoring in basket weaving, you ain't got to worry about that guy anymore. Biometrics. It's up here. I want to eat. I got a family I got to feed. And the thing is, you beat me, then I ain't got no food on my table. So I'm going to hit you in your throat when you come around here. And these guys got to learn it. But, yeah, Parsons is a whole different animal, man, different beast. So, I don't know, man.
A lot of the draft experts say that this is one of the deepest edge rusher classes in a long time. I mean,
it's deep. It's deep. Depth doesn't necessarily mean
top end talent.
Yes, right. I mean, you got a lot of guys that's going to be able to come in and probably start and stuff. Do I see any? Like I've looked at some of the guys that's out there. Nobody jumps off the screen to me like, yo, we got to get this guy. And if
you ever seen that kid from Michigan play?
I have. I've seen him. He's good. There's Michigan. The dude
was like one of the Bosa boys.
Yeah. Hey man, Michigan ain't.
It don't matter, Jay. He put up numbers every game. I think I think he's close. I think he was close, or he got the record for sacks on DN. He's a monster out there, man.
All right. Well, we gonna hang around and get him? Is that what's gonna happen?
Oh no, he's gonna be. He's early off the board.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm talking about. So we ain't even got a chance to get that guy, right? Maybe, or we decide to do some picks and
I think Alabama's
got to get that guy.
I think Georgia's their defense has got a lot of good players. There's some players out there because I think there's a lot of defensive guys available for this draft. And the bad thing, like you said earlier, you're going in with the unknown because you got, you can show out in all you want to in college. We've seen Heisman Trophy guys not even, show up in the pros. So just because you did it in college don't mean you're gonna do it in the pros.
Right. So one dude is who free agency right now, Javian Clowney. Clowney came out. He was just supposed to be like deal breaker from best defensive end.
I mentioned him. I would take Clowney. I don't think he's worth the money right now. But you get I take it.
I would too. Look, take a chance. God, win you a Super Bowl. Come on here, win you a chip. Work hard. He'll definitely be able to come in and help. There's some guys, man, in free agency, man, that, like you said, it's not going to cost a whole lot of money. It's not. We should be getting these guys in. But yet, and you still got the draft. That's the thing about it. You still got the draft with these guys. So, oh man, I don't know.
Man, I just hate having to depend on the draft. We got some good, talent with what we got last year, early picks. Are those early picks good enough to get us a Super Bowl? No, because we didn't prove it throughout the year. But they lived up to the moment. They did well. I think they did well enough to earn the starting job, earn whatever accolades they got throughout the year. But with the proven older guys, if you can make a splash and get a guy older, to help solidify those younger guys, it helps. Wagner's still out there to help out with, our young linebacker core.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of big names that are still out there. Again, I just don't know what we have in the bank account to pursue those guys. So,
I mean, and I think a lot of those guys won't break the bank. Like you say, Clowney, I don't think it's breaking the bank. JP,
he can't come with a big ticket.
Yeah. Pierre Paul could be another good one too. I mean, if we're bringing in two of the, like, let's say Ingram, Clowney, or one of these other guys like JPP, that's not bad. I'm not going to be upset if we do that.
It's not bad, but you try to get somebody young guy. You can't be like the Lakers. It debacle what they did. Brought in all old guys, and them suckers wouldn't play no defense. You know, that's I just don't want to see. A young guy that still got some spark to him. Some umph. That's what I'm talking about. Like Chandler Jones, Darius Smith. Those guys should have been, without a doubt. Don't let them guys do. Hey, you come over here. We're gonna make sure what we need to do. We're gonna win a championship. We need you the piece that we need to get this done. And I don't know what transpired, but hey, they other places. So
yeah, and then there's also like theories that people say that like we want to make our biggest splash on a receiver. Mahomes is going to convert his money into the bonus on Friday because they couldn't. That Friday's the day of the deadline where they can do the bonus stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of people think the theory is we're going to bolster get another weapon for Mahomes if he is going to do that, converting the money into a bonus on Friday. So, I mean, I don't know. It's all theories until we see what happens. So by this time next week, we have our next show. I think we'll have some answers. Hopefully, I think.
Hopefully,
that's what I'm gonna guess. But all right, fellas. Well, that does it for us. Thanks for tuning in to Chief Concerns presented by BetOnline. We'll see you guys next week, where hopefully there's some answers to a lot of these questions that we had. So we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
All right, fellas.
All right.